Hot Morning Crew on this Tuesday. We have a guest in the studio, Nancy.
We do.
A guest of honor, Nyakana.
Good morning, good
I
morning.
got it right?
You got it right, Bob.
She schooled me.
She got Russian. Close your computer.
I gotta get it right.
Russian blood in there. You
Oh
never
my
know.
God.
You never
She's-
know.
We've been talking for a while. She's been trying to get in here for a while, but she finally made it. She has a book out.
She's an author. I love
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Niyah, Zuri, and the Pharaoh's Throne.
So how did this whole thing happen? Did you always want to write a book? Because I've always wanted to write a book.
I definitely always wanted to write a book. I
Mhm.
wanted it to be diverse. I wanted to be inclusive of those that are normally not included in books. And when I started a family of my own, I said, you know what, I want this to be something that my sons can grow up and read and be something that students can relate to. So I went ahead and pushed forward.
Wow. So what was the concept in your brain? How did you start to write? Because I feel like that's the hardest part. So
Yeah,
starting the
going,
book,
stunning.
sitting in front of
That
the
first
computer, and you're
paragraph.
like, okay, my great novel's going to be.
Oh, I wish it was that easy. It actually started with a scrap of paper in the living room with my husband late night. And I kind of wrote it as an outline, scribbled it up, and it's funny because it's now framed in my house. And it's completely different from the story that it ended up.
Oh, you're
becoming.
kidding! That's so good.
Aside from the main characters, it's completely different.
Oh, that's great.
So the journey was definitely fun. I know everybody's writing process is definitely different.
Yeah, for sure.
And the name of the book is?
Niyah, Zuri,
Yeah.
and the Pharaoh's Throne.
What's the concept of the book?
So the concept of the book, it follows heroine Niyah Zuri as she and her best friends Miguel and Hugo Gonzalez, they time travel. They have this mystical map. They accidentally get transported back to the Triassic period, almost get eaten by dinosaurs, and then they end up going back to ancient Egypt to help Prince Tut overcome his fear of rule. And they're all around the same age, about 8 or 9 years old.
Oh my goodness. So this is really something that you wanted to do for the kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Filled with adventure, exploration. I felt that children also needed to be able to see a reflection in themselves, right? In the books that they read, not only the characters on the cover, but also how they sound, how they act. And growing up, I could never find anyone on the cover that looked anything like me, so I wrote to make that difference.
What grade do you think this book is geared towards?
It's geared
ages?
towards upper elementary, so 3 through 5. I've also worked with lower middle school students, especially those that are hoping to improve their literacy rates.
Which is so great, because that was one of my favorite things, that we would get books. We could order books at our school.
Yes.
And so I was always the one who always got all the animal books. Anything that had an animal in front,
That was you.
me. So I read all of
The
the
book fair.
That was what I loved. I loved getting books and reading. I really always loved that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it transports you into a different place.
It
So,
definitely does, and
And
that's the
it's-
whole point.
yeah, it gets your imagination going. I think it's great for kids.
Now the book is out and everything. The response has been great. How's the response been?
The response has been incredible. So I get emails, I get Instagram DMs from students, from, I don't know if they're supposed to have Instagram, but from students and from their parents that are telling me, oh, my children are so excited to read. They never wanted to read before, but this book, they identify with this character or that character, or we're actually starting a book club and your book is going to be the first one.
Oh, that's
My
great.
son and all his cousins are reading it, or my daughter and her after school program are going to incorporate it. So the feedback has been phenomenal, and that's what it's all been about.
Is there anyone that you really wanted to get the approval from the regular people, from everyone else, but is there any particular person that you wanted to say good job after you finish writing the book?
This is anyone in the world?
Yeah.
I would love to get this book in Oprah's hands, just because she, to me, identifies with the struggle that you have to go through, especially as a creative person, and knowing your self-worth and knowing how to persevere through your challenges to get whatever dream it is that whatever it is that you're pursuing. Having her stamp of approval would be everything
Amazing.
to me. It would be.
I
it would be
love
amazing.
the cover of the book. Who did
Thank
the
you.
illustration? Who came up with that?
I actually worked with a freelancer and illustrator to come up with that.
You did.
I gave her a picture of me. So Niyah Zuri is actually supposed to be me. I gave her a picture of me from when I was 15 or 16 and said, this is what I need the character to look like, because what you're coming up with is just a little off. And I
Yeah.
need her to really embody my persona and what I looked like as a kid, because that was the issue that I
like your
always
Reggae
fighting.
Fest t-shirt.
Thank you. She's very well rounded.
She's very well rounded. I love it. And it's a beautiful cover, so it's wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Did you encounter any roadblocks while writing the book? To any period during writing the book where you just couldn't go any further?
So the roadblocks that I encountered were more so after the book was completed, submitting it to some of them large publishing houses. I got some that were interested, but they wanted me to change the characters up. whether one wanted me to change Niyah Zuri to Michael Zuri, just to appeal
Is that
more
frustrating?
to. Definitely frustrating, because as a creative person, you have that focus, and the message that you're trying to get across. And when someone asks you to fundamentally change,
Something that you could, yeah.
Especially if you're a writer or you're an artist or
Yeah.
something and you're trying to change all that stuff. That's
I'm willing to bend on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So that didn't quite work out, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to be discouraged. I'm going to go ahead with the independent route. And I knew that it was going to take 10 times more work. I'm the one getting in touch with administrators at the schools. I'm the one doing all this groundwork. I'm preparing curriculums. But at the end of the day, what's the end result? The smiling faces that I see. Every author event that I do, and the child coming up to me and saying, she looks like me, or she looks like you, or this looks like my brother, or the characters, the Gonzalez twins, they speak Spanish too in here, and Niyah Zuri, she's speaking Swahili. My dad's from Nigeria, or my dad's from Uganda, or my dad's from Kenya, and they identify with it. That excitement that I get from them fulfills everything.
Have you come up with another book idea?
I have.
I
So
bet
this
you
is meant to be a
have.
series.
I bet you
This is
have.
definitely meant to be a series, and in the second book, we're going to definitely pull in more of the coding element and Girls Who Code movement.
Oh, that's great.
One of the
That's
antagonists
really
from
good.
the stories is going to kind of come to the forefront and join the main character, so that's something I've been working on. I was just telling Christy behind stage that I just finished baby number 2 amidst all of this.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Wow.
funny because on my Instagram, it's like one of the pictures, I'm so heavily pregnant. I was maybe 8.5 months pregnant.
Yep.
Down in New London, Connecticut at Hartford Elementary. And the kids are like, are you about to have a baby? I'm like, well, I hope so, looking like this.
Yeah.
But I just, every morning I get up and I say, what is it that I'm going to do today to change a child's life? So it didn't matter if I was 8.5 months pregnant,
Yeah.
but that's where I've been for a little while. So definitely working on the second book, and
Good for
it'll be a
you.
great adventure.
How are we going to get this book in all the schools in the nation?
Oh, you're going to help me, Bob. I'm putting you to work.
I can help you.
I'm giving you like
What do I have to
2,000
do?
books, put it in your trunk. You're going to
We're
drive
gonna drive
across.
around.
Yes.
I need some
You're
gas
gonna-
money though. I'm gonna need some gas money.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
There
we'll-
you go,
we'll-
Buck.
I'll write it off.
Right.
There you
I
go.
can see it being a cartoon. Like,
Yeah, a cartoon would be great too, like Dora the Explorer.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's what I was
That's
gonna
kind
say,
of-
but I didn't want to be so cliche because I'm
But
so
it's, so,
Spanish.
but it is like an exploration.
It's
That's
like
what
an
I like about
exploration.
it.
It
Yeah.
is like
I'd
a
love to
Dora.
make it like small mini-series,
Right.
even team up with like
Oh my
PBS and
God. That
Nickelodeon,
would be
something that
great.
can be brought into the classroom, especially now that there's so much tech in
Absolutely.
the classrooms.
Yeah.
They're coming with iPads
That's
and
great.
laptops and tablets.
And you have so
interacting
many,
with it.
so much diversity there.
And how can people get the book?
Okay, so they can get the book on my website, Anna, ANNYAKANA.com, Anna Nyakana. It's also available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, local
Okay.
Barnes. They can just walk in and order it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Great
Well,
job.
We
Thank
look
you so
forward
much.
to getting you back for the second book.
Yes.
I
And
know.
when the cartoon
When the
goes.
cartoon comes.
I will call you. And when Oprah puts that picture up of
There
me
you
with my
go.
book,
That'd
Yeah.
be great.
I'll say,
There's
book,
that
it happened
in.
here. We spoke
spoke
it into
it into
existence.
existence.
That's
did.
the way it goes. That's the way. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me,
Yeah,
guys.
we appreciate it.
All right.
Check that computer box before she leaves. You know what I'm saying?
Oh Lord.
Oh, stop it.
It's on 937.
Here's the book, guys. This is what it looks like. So cool. Look at the illustrations. Love it.